Today's flight simulation in X-Plane 11 focuses on an Airbus A380 attempting an emergency landing under challenging conditions. The scenario unfolds as an unexpected runway overrun incident occurs due to unfavorable weather conditions, high landing speed, and reduced braking efficiency. The pilots must act quickly to prevent a disaster while ensuring the safety of passengers and crew. As we begin the approach, the aircraft is flying at an altitude of approximately 10,000 feet, descending steadily toward the airport. The pilots have already completed most of their pre-landing checklist, ensuring that the flaps, landing gear, and auto-braking system are set correctly. Air traffic control provides clearance for landing, informing the pilots that other aircraft have successfully landed on this runway earlier. However, ATC also reports that the braking action is moderate, which means that the surface may be slippery due to recent rain. This prompts a quick discussion in the cockpit between the captain and the first officer. Braking action moderate. That's not great. We may need to be extra careful with the reversers and manual braking. Agreed. We'll arm the speed brakes and set auto brake to max. The aircraft continues to descend, and the weather is making things more difficult. The wind is fluctuating, causing slight turbulence as we align with the runway. The visibility is acceptable, but the wet runway is a major concern for braking efficiency. The landing lights are turned on, illuminating the dark runway ahead. Flaps are extended to full position, ensuring maximum lift reduction for landing. The aircraft is now about 500 feet above the ground, steadily approaching the runway. The co-pilot calls out altitude readings. 500 feet. Stable. Speed check. We're a bit fast, reducing throttle. At 200 feet, the aircraft is on a stable approach, but the speed is slightly higher than optimal. This means the stopping distance required will be greater. The pilots prepare for a firm touchdown to activate the braking system effectively. At 50 feet, the engines are brought to idle thrust, and the aircraft gently touches down on the wet runway. The landing itself is relatively smooth, but what happens next is critical. The moment the main landing gear touches the runway, the following actions occur. Speed brakes deploy automatically. Reverse thrust is applied. Auto brake system engages. However, the aircraft is not decelerating as expected. The wet surface is reducing friction, and the huge momentum of the Airbus A380 is making it harder to slow down. Brakes aren't biting well. We're still too fast. Reverse thrust full. Manual braking engaged. The aircraft is still moving at a dangerously high speed, nearing the end of the runway. The pilots now have just a few seconds to act before the aircraft overshoots into grass or barriers. End of the runway in sight. We're not stopping in time. Full manual braking. Hold on. At this point, emergency procedures are in effect. The co-pilot informs ATC about the situation, while the captain locks the wheels completely, trying to create maximum friction. Despite the efforts, the aircraft overshoots the runway and enters a grass area at a speed of around 40 knots. There is a sudden jolt as the wheels struggle against the uneven surface. The ground crew and emergency teams at the airport immediately mobilize, preparing for a possible evacuation. However, the aircraft does not sustain severe damage apart from stress on the landing gear and minor exterior damage. The cockpit remains calm as the pilots follow emergency protocols. Engines are shut down immediately. Passengers are informed to remain seated. ATC is updated on the aircraft condition. Confirm, is an evacuation needed? Negative, no injuries. Aircraft stable, will hold position. Once the aircraft is secured, an investigation begins to determine what led to the overrun. Key factors include wet runway conditions. The rain had made the runway slippery, reducing braking efficiency significantly. The aircraft approach was slightly above the optimal landing speed, requiring extra stopping distance. Despite auto braking and full reverse thrust, the wet conditions reduced the effectiveness of the braking system. The pilot's quick reactions helped prevent a worse outcome. By applying manual braking and reverse thrust at the right moment, they minimized damage and ensured passenger safety. This incident serves as an important lesson for pilots and aviation professionals. Understanding runway conditions is crucial, as pilots should always factor in braking reports and weather conditions when planning a landing. Ensuring the correct approach speed is essential, especially in low-friction conditions. Quick decision-making and communication with ATC can prevent serious accidents. Understanding how an aircraft behaves in wet or slippery conditions can help pilots prepare for unexpected braking issues. In the end, the A380 runway overrun emergency landing was handled with professionalism and precision. Although the aircraft did not stop within the designated runway area, the pilots took the right actions to prevent a disaster. The airport's emergency response teams were quick to react, ensuring the safety of all passengers on board. This simulation in X-Plane 11 provides a realistic look at how unexpected situations can develop and how pilots must respond under pressure. It highlights the importance of preparation, quick thinking, and effective teamwork in aviation. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more realistic flight simulations and emergency scenarios in X-Plane 11.